Good morning. Finally back to the morning energy reading. Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be back to do this. I was also very happy to be able to sleep in too, though. You know how, two things can be true, two things can exist at the same time. I really wanted to sleep in and not do this, but now I'm excited that I am back and communing with you guys first thing in the morning. And I'm trying to get my schedule together so I'm not going to be rushed doing this, at least having a good 45 minutes to be on here in the morning and to just talk and chit chat and do the morning energy reading. I just wanted to see how you guys are doing. I am so full of emotions. I've been doing this, trying to roll out my face. I feel like, you know how that feeling of like feeling like you want to cry and it's just like right here. That's how I feel. Just to be very transparent. I feel like I could burst into tears any second now. And that's grief. That's what grief feels like. And even when you think you're not really, you're prepared for a loss, we are prepared for this loss. I feel like, what my uncle represents is it's almost like, I'm 33 years old, but it still feels like my childhood or an era is ending, especially when my mom's passed. So that's what I'm just dealing with right now. So you just have to be patient with me and just give me grace because I see a smile, but behind the smile, it feels like tears. It feels like very much like grief. It feels very much like grief. And I think that can happen sometimes when people pass close back to back. It's just like reopening a wound, even if it's not as close, which my whole family is close, but it's like reopening a wound. And then that stuff happened here in New Orleans, on the first day of the year. My uncle died on the first day of the year. It's a lot. For any human, but even being an empath and then seeing what our city is going through. And I work with a lot of I work out. I work out with a lot of first responders, nurses, ER nurses, police officers, FBI agents. You guys know I keep saying work. I work out at a gym, all women's gym, Girls Gone Buff, right? Shout out to them. So you feel that energy, we've talked about it. We feel that energy. You feel that energy in the city, really. It's something. And we have a lot of crime in our city, but that's kind of, I don't know. I don't like it. What really bothered me though was clicking online and seeing somebody sharing a video of some, like, the bodies on Bourbon. That really disturbed me because we see that a lot, obviously, in this culture. But Bourbon Street is usually a lot of kids, younger, or tourists. That's usually who hangs out. And that's what I saw in my community. A lot of people being lost are young adults, kids, to me, 20, 21, 18, 19, and it was horrific. It was horrific. And we got to talk about that. At some point, people got to talk about that. It's not just careless. It's a spirit. To me, the way I feel like on an energetic level is that if you're able to share somebody's guts hanging out of their body next to them on the street, you are no different than the person who drove the truck down the road. It's still a spirit. It's still a demonic spirit that you would be able to share that type of imagery to people, because that inflicts pain and inflicts grief as well. And so I don't know when we're going to start having that conversation publicly about like being allowed to share different gruesome stuff like that, because it's still a spirit. It's just like I guess we can call it like the devil's workers, spreading that type of stuff and spirit and fear and havoc. It really disturbed me. And like people who do that, they have a spirit in them as well. You have to look back to the 7 deadly sins, because that vanity is something else. It was awful when I saw it, and I have a very, very thick skin, but that shredded me, the images that I saw. And I guess maybe because I've I walked down Bourbon during the daytime and, used to work there. But more importantly, those are somebody's children, because they were younger people. And I just think what if they ran across that, what I saw, that, it hasn't left me. All right. So how are you guys doing? If you guys are still part of the, hey, Bruno, if you guys are still a part of the, everybody always hears you snoring. Ugh. Still a part of the challenge. This is my notebook. I've been keeping my notebook with me in my purse, reading my It's Works list 3 times a day. I also scripted a little bit. I'm going to talk about that on a different live. But hey, Bruno, say hey. Everybody heard you snoring your ass off yesterday. No, you can't stay up here. Come on. There you go. But I will find some time to get on live. So even if you can't get on the live, you can watch it back. And I'm going to do it in the membership tab, the High Priestess tab, and just kind of talk about that a little bit. Some things that will have helped me. All right. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry to hear that, Stacey. All right. Holy Spirit's present, angels, please allow me to have a clear message here for the Aries collective. He's actually kind of tiny compared to Pugsley. Y'all see Pugsley. Pugsley has gained so much weight. He's one of those roly-poly pugs now. Ooh. Okay. So we have co-create. We haven't had this card in a while. Co-create. I like this energy. You see the owl. Owl is there for wisdom. We got I think it's a leopard cheetah. I'm not sure. But his reflection is in the egg. Oh, that's interesting imagery. See what you guys can get out of that, just so you can see the picture and see what you get out of it. Co-create. Number 40. Number 40. And this says creativity, art, inspiration, fruition, and manifestation. You may not consider yourself a creative person, but in fact, you are creating your reality every moment of every day via your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, intentions, and actions. Yet you must consider that you do so in partnership with spirit, consciousness, God, or whatever name you call your higher power. You are a spark of this intelligence that works through you, nudging you with inspired thoughts and intuitive guidance. You are a paintbrush that co-creates a beautiful, unique expression of your own individuality, blended with universal spirit. You are a product of divine inspiration, and now you're aligned with it to create miracles. When you view your life as art, you know you co-created. Only beauty and grace result. Prepare to be amazed. When I would think about spiritual warfare, I think about the fact that we are all God in action. Like each one of us is a piece of God. And we are just kind of doing this life as an expression of God's source energy. I don't like to say him, he, she, whatever you want to call it. And that's what we're doing. We are all connected. We are all one. We are literally all pieces of God, like, little particles expressing life through our own individuality. And so when I think of spiritual warfare, I think about, just on the simplest form, how there is another spirit, an opposing spirit of God's source energy that is trying to get us to conform and all be the same. If God is true expression and creativity and wanting us to be individuals, right, and express ourselves through our own lens and our own way, then there's an opposing force that wants us to do everything the same, that wants us to be exactly alike, or to copy each other, or to mimic each other, and to be brainwashed into thinking that is the right way to do something. And so I think it's so beautiful when people pop out of the mold or the matrix and start expressing themselves and no longer are afraid about making a living, right? Because that is the condition of the conformity, to think that you have to do this XYZ to make a living and to be able to eat. And that has been so embedded in us that people are afraid to give up certain things, 9 to 5s, or structured way of living or doing things. And we don't ever think about that as spiritual warfare, but that is spiritual warfare. And it is happening. And I think, and I feel like, I don't know, I'll find out, but I feel like that could be the reason why we keep reincarnating, right? We are all trying to break free from this situation that has been impressed on us so we can express ourselves, our true God source energy, which means, you know, all you have to do is be true to yourself. What is yourself? You know, what is Stacy wanting to do with her life? You know, what is Melly wanting to do with their life? What if, with no fear that they're not going to eat? You understand? You know, and I know it might be kind of in a very simplest term, but that's what I think of. And that's what just made me think when I thought about reading this, is co-creation. Because co-create, we are literally creating with the creator, and we are extension of the creator. It's kind of trippy, but it also means that anything that we try and really put our heart and our energy into, we will do, we will succeed at. We think we'll fail, we're afraid of failure, but if we actually do it and put our heart and that source energy into it, we will succeed. Okay. The relationship message says connections of the heart serve to inspire you, opening you up to new ideas you would never have come to on your own. You are looking in a mirror held up by this experience and seeing yourself in an unexpected way. Who is this extraordinary being looking back at you? You are going to be so happy that you keep your heart open. Your love is a unique work of art now, and the very embodiment of beauty. And the prosperity message here says, flashes of inspiration give rise to great success when you receive the message. You are at your most creative now, and whatever you apply yourself to will lead to the fruition of your dreams. Remember that all your ideas are channeled from a higher source. You create your reality in partnership with spirit. The potential for manifestation is unlimited now. Revel in its vastness. I'm telling you, even as something as big, I don't want to say as simple, because writing a book I always feel is monumental, because writing a book, you leave your thumbprint on this world even far after you're gone. But if you've ever been inspired to write a book, any type of book, you know what I'm saying? That is God's source flowing through you, saying someone needs this message. Somebody may need the message that is not even born yet. But that is God's way of operating through you. But sometimes we allow, which I feel is demonic. Anything, to me, what demonic is fear. That's demonic. Okay. We don't have to be afraid. We tell ourselves, well, things are scary and it happens. But we don't have to. We really don't have to live in fear, but we are conditioned to do so. And that kind of stops the flow of creativity. It stops the flow of source energy. It doesn't go away, because energy never disperses, you know, but it stops the flow to creativity. I'm afraid to do this, so I'm going to stay in my box where it's safe. Of course it's safe there. I want you to think it's safe there because I don't want you to create, right? That's the words of the devil. Okay. It's safe to stay in your box. It's safe to stay, you know, where you're not trying anything new. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to make sure that you eat. I'm going to make sure that your lights stay on, as long as you make sure that you keep clocking into this matrix. And then there are people who know this, who take advantage of this, who make the most money, right? And keep people stuck into that type of energy as well, who are no different. They are still the workers of the beast system. So co-creation is here on the table, and Spirit is reminding you that you're never doing anything. You're never doing anything alone. Anytime you get an inspiration to create or do something, it's not even coming from you. It's coming from a higher power. It's coming from a higher source. All right, let's see what we have here. That's interesting. Okay. First card out is the Knight of Wands. I'm going to take these since they fell. King of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Ace of Swords. I'll pull one more. The Nine of Cups was about to fall out, but we got the King of Pentacles. All right. So the Knight of Wands definitely talks about following a passion, something that excites you, fuels you, drives you, right? It's fun. It's something here that you get some sort of spark at first, right? Spark of the divine, but then now you're really going with it and it's fueling your passion in some way. The High Priestess Pisces energy here talks about your intuition. As you can see, they did a beautiful job of illustrating this card that you are literally connected to the divine. Your information, good, bad, and different, comes down from a source energy, and you're tapped into that. Same thing with the Ace of Swords here. Beautiful, the knowledge. This staircase that goes up through the light, or the light goes through the staircase, or going down to the light, however you want to say it, it's never ending. And it's the same with knowledge, and it's the same with information and source. It's just waiting for you to tap into it. The Ace of Swords represents some sort of epiphany, idea, new idea, or inspiration that you may be gathering or you may receive here. And the King of Cups here is a very strong, emotional, but intuitive feeling that you are connected to something here. The King of Cups is creativity as well. Okay, so being tuned in and tapped into your feelings, emotions, and being so grounded in it that fear does not play a role or a place. And then you have the King of Pentacles, materializing that feeling or emotion into something tangible, because we do need tangible things here of this world. So it definitely, I like this because it starts out with the Knight of Wands, which is what may be considered the lesser card. And it's like a small fire burning inside of you to do something, to create, to follow this passion, to, answer a calling. And then everything else that you need, show you this way, everything else that you would need comes to you once you start putting this desire into action. The Knight of Wands is an action card. The High Priestess here is a very spiritual card. You're receiving downloads. Ace of Swords, now you got the download. Now there is some bright idea, right? Now you're turning it into, you're materializing this thing, and you're allowing your feelings and your intuition to guide you to the success that you need. So very beautiful energy right here, Aries. This is a time of creation more than anything. Right now, after we're having a lot of our outer planets transition and have transition. So we're about to see a new way of doing things, being, and creation. I saw something yesterday about, I don't know how true this is, but sometimes I feel like they just put things out there, but it doesn't hurt to try it. How YouTube is propping up newer creators. I don't know what they're saying, because I don't know, it brings more ad revenue. I don't know. But that is great to know for people who are starting their channels this year, or who have newly started their channels, to really put the pedal to the metal and to put your creativity, put your passions out there. So be unique, express yourself authentically, right? But also, this is a time to not be afraid to share your who you are. Okay. All right. So that is what I have for you guys today. There will be a video around noon. And there will be a short later, and I will be on live tomorrow morning. Okay. So you guys take care and have a great day. All right. Bye-bye.